know what time it is.
How it all works.
Come on.
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 Yes, 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 yes. Always good to be back for another How It All Works Convos and Collabs. How are you guys, man? Talk to me in the comments. I see you out there. David Hunt is here, always first. David, you've been consistent these last couple of weeks. You've been first a couple of times, man. So I'm glad to see you out there. Thank you for coming through. G. Albert is on the live. Thank you so much for coming through. Carvins is here as well. I love to see you, man. Yeah, we got a slightly different angle today. I'm looking up at you. I hope that that's okay. And then we got Antoine Speller is here. Brandtastic Promo saying, here, I'm here. Let's get it. Somebody said, let's get it. Make sure you've shared. Make sure you shared. Make sure you've tagged. We want to make sure we get as many people in here as possible. We're going to have a good time. Let me tell you, if the pre-show, right, that preamble, you guys saw me and Justin talking in the backstage as the countdown clock was flipping through scenes. If that is any indicator, we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time. The great thing about content creation is that we can learn from one another. There is so many different sides to this thing, both content creation, live video, video production, all of the above, and its impact on business, its impact on all of the things. I am going to move quickly to some announcements because I want to make sure we have time. Man, listen, composition, remote live production, this is something for anybody that's like, yo, I have this idea. Don't want to learn how to do all the tech stuff to get it out there. I just want to manage my show maybe once a month, maybe once a quarter, maybe twice a month. Hey, I just booked a client that's doing his show 4 times a week, 4 times in 1 week. So that's a major undertaking that me and the team are going to be looking into, and we're excited about that. But we want to make sure you guys are aware. That's what composition remote live production is for. And please tell me that you know what composition is, because that's the name of the business me and my wife run. I'm laughing because I saw it right as I was about to say that. I saw Walter Jeanette's comment. He says, that ticker is sexy. And I just got the visual image of, some music playing in the background. Hey, man, it's good to see you, Walter. Dr. Tony Rizzo is here. Thank you guys for coming through, hanging out again. Make sure let's share. These are some of the graphics packages that are available on the page, kirkarnugent.com/store. Just go there in your spare time, peruse. If there's something there that can really help you to level up your live stream, whether you're doing DIY or whether you want hands off, we want to help you with all of it. Kirk has all the bells and whistles. Dr. Elo is here. If he's here, we can definitely get started. Want to make sure you guys also know about the book, 31 Live Streaming Tips to Grow Your Audience. It's an ebook. It's a PDF ready for download. $8.99. Okay, let's just call it $9 to be safe. It is definitely worth your time, effort, energy. Even if you are seasoned in this live streaming space, I think it'll really help you. It serves as like a daily guide. It's meant to be taken one piece at a time. So you could binge read it if you want to, but take it day by day. And by the end of the 31 days, I really think your live stream will be taken to the next level. So I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. Next thing we want to talk about is membership. Okay, membership. Walter Jeanette says, let me go buy this book. Yes, go do it. Tiffany Harrison, thank you so much for being here. Chantel Hills says, hi, creators. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you guys coming through and hanging out again. Make sure you're sharing. I want to talk to you just a second about membership. For those that are members, you're going to get an email in about 15-20 minutes because we are going to have the after party. And this is one of the perks of membership. If you're a member on my page, buymeacoffee.com/KirkRNugent, if you are a member, you're going to get an email in about 15-20 minutes giving you the code to enter Zoom. And the Zoom room is already there. I'm looking at it right now. It's open, but the Zoom room is there. So we want to make sure you guys are able to join us for the after party. Justin Brown's going to be there with us. Not long. The after party is meant to be like 20-30 minutes, maybe even less. So if you want to jump in there, okay, you can grab your tickets. The link is in the description everywhere that you're watching. Doesn't matter where you're watching. The link is in the description. Go ahead and grab your tickets there, but also consider membership. I see Tiffany says, hey, Austin, we live. Guys, I'm here. Austin Humphreys says, guys, I'm here. This is my guy, man. Austin Humphreys is my guy. Listen, fam, as the old term says, mama, I made it, right? Listen, one of the things that somebody said to me recently is like, man, Kirk, you usually come out with a video every Sunday. You missed us these last 2 Sundays. I was like, that's because I was working hard to get 3 videos done for Ecamm on the Ecamm channel. So we're going to be sharing that on YouTube with our audience as well. Want to make sure you guys are aware. major feature updates happening in the Ecamm community, and these are some of the thumbnails from those videos: behind the scenes communications, branded guest experience, and then show profiles. These are all the different things that I personally did a little short tutorial video on that lives on the Ecamm channel. Isn't that something? Come on, guys, celebrate with it. This is a journey we've been taking together. So I see some of you in the comments already say new transitions are dope. Thank you so much, Austin. Kanik is saying get the book. Look, the link is in the comments. You can't say you didn't know about it. And look, the timing for this thing couldn't have come out any better, right? Did the videos for Ecamm, which helped me to really do a deep dive on this latest release. And we are preparing in November 21st for our Ecamm Masterclass. So fam, if you listen, $67 gets you a seat. If you're a member, it's $57 to get $10 off. So definitely, I see some congratulations out there. Thank you so much. Definitely take advantage of the Masterclass. Take advantage of the Masterclass. Man, listen, where's Austin? Austin, check this lineup, man. Check this lineup for November. Woo! I am always humbled and excited and just tickled at the fact that people are willing to come and chat with me on this platform. And I love being able to introduce you guys, the How It All Works audience, to other content creators, maybe people you didn't know before, maybe people you already were following, but it's nice to be able to see two of your creators, two people that you follow have this conversation together. Justin Koo kicks it off. We got Diana Gladney, Kat Mulvihill, Toya Glenn, and then we have a mystery guest to close out the month of November. It's gonna be packed. Just listen, it's no different from October, but we're definitely excited to be able to bring this to you. Yeah, Dr. Elo, thank you so much. Antoine Speller says, just ordered the book, enjoyed the StreamYard Masterclass. Yes, I forgot you were there in the StreamYard Masterclass, and we had a phenomenal time in the Masterclass. I'm glad you were able to grab that book, and I'm hoping that you guys get your tickets to come join in the after party with myself and Justin. Yo, Austin, it is major. I'm telling you, Justin Koo, we're going to be talking about, content creation. We're going to be talking about video production. We're going to be talking about YouTube. We're going to be talking about ministry. This is a very unique intersection, and I'm so excited to be able to bring him on the channel. If you don't know who he is, definitely go ahead and check him out. He is going to be on next week, Monday. So I'm excited to be able to bring him through. Who is the mystery guest? We will have to see. We will have to see, G. Albert. We will have to see. But man, October was just as packed. And if you haven't gone back and watched some of those videos from Jillian Morin, Stefan Lubinsky, I just met with him today, actually. I'm excited about some of the things that we are cooking up in the kitchen. It's going to be good. Last week, we had a giant. Allison Davis just blew our minds. And for those that came for the after party, she stayed for almost an hour and a half and just kind of poured in. It was amazing. And today, of course, listen, we're ending off with a absolute treat, and that is none other than Justin Brown. Excited to have him. And here's one of his quotes that he shared with us: more content doesn't mean more results. Be strategic and create content that people actually want and can find. I absolutely love. These are words to live by. And without any further ado, man, we're going to dive right in. We're going to bring him on screen right after our intro video. And this is what I want you guys to do. I see you, Tawana. I see you out there. This is what I want you to do. When we get him on screen, I want you to give him a How It All Works welcome, because he is here to hang out with us for the next little bit. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Again, make sure you share. Make sure you share. Make sure you share. I'm going to say that 4 more times. Share, share, share. Tag somebody. Let's get anybody that we can in here for this live conversation. Let's go. Yes, 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 yes. We have Justin Brown on the live with us. We're excited to have him here. He's already in the comments. He just said, hey, everyone, what's good? Justin, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me on.
Oh man, we're excited to have you. Excited to dive into tonight's topic. But man, it is definitely a pleasure to have you here. I know that there's a little bit of a delay, so they're going to be welcoming you in shortly. Their comments are coming in now. I see Carvin says hello, Justin. Dr. Elo says, yo, Justin, Primal Video, welcome, my friend. Kanik says, welcome, Justin. We got comments coming in, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But Justin, what time is it where you are, by the way?
So we've just gone past 10 a.m. I'm in the future. I'm in Australia. So 10 a.m. on, what day is it? Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday. Oh my goodness. Yeah. This is amazing. This is another huge component of live video that I absolutely love, is just the international feel and opportunity that it presents. I mean, you could be anywhere. I mean, we got people watching from the UK. Justin is in Australia. I'm in Huntsville, Alabama. This is amazing, right? We can sit here, we can chat. He's in the future. He can tell us what it's like there. That's so cool.
I'll send you back some lotto numbers.
Oh man, listen, I need them. I need them. You know, I was trying to. One of the shirts I was trying to send you is this shirt, but man, it got sent back. I hate I hate that happened, but I'm going to have to try and send it again. There's something happening with the shipping. I don't know. My provider was like, yo, our shipping thing, it just kind of messed up, but we're going to get it to you. I'm going to make sure of it. So definitely look out for that from us. We want to make sure you get that gift. Listen, we're gonna dive in. We're gonna ask our first question. This is a question that our guests absolutely love. I've tried to change it, and they got mad at me, so I'm just gonna leave these first two questions are standard. We want to hear a little bit about you, a little bit about your relationship to live streaming, but just kind of talk about who you are, where you are now, and then our second question, which we'll dive into in a second, is more your origin story. So let's leave the origin story for the second question, but talk to folks about who is Justin Brown and what does Primal Video have to offer?
Cool. So again, pumped to be here. But I run a YouTube channel with my brother, Mike. It's called Primal Video, and we help people grow an audience and scale their revenue with online video. So we've all gone through the process probably of making videos. We're looking to start making videos, but for a lot of us, and where we started was you get stuck. You're not getting any views, subscribers. So what we want to help is people not to make the same mistakes that we did, not have to learn all the lessons and things the hard way like we did, so that they can get results much, much faster. So we want to help people have impact and build a business around their content, whether that's a side hustle for them or whether that's a full-time income, which is our goal. Help people enjoy life and enjoy helping people with the stuff that they're pumped on talking about. In terms of live video, I had a background in live video. I was doing that before we even had the YouTube channel. I was doing that for the Australian government here, and obviously some big corporate stuff as well. As for my time actually being in front of camera and live streaming, it's pretty limited. I've done quite a few of them now, but my experience was more the behind the camera, directing, producing, those kinds of things.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing. Listen, we got a couple of questions I want to grab here. One says, hey, do the Bulls win tonight? Brandtastic Promo says, do the Bulls win tonight?
I'm going to go with yes, but if you place that bet, then that's my disclaimer is
the disclaimer. Yes. Okay, we got disclaimers here. G. Albert says, "Hey Justin, when we fall back in our time zone, what happens in your end of the world? Because we're getting ready to do that. Daylight savings time here. What happens? Do you guys have that as well?"
We do, but they're not lined up. So
okay.
Where I actually am, we don't have any change in time throughout the entire year. But other places, other parts of Australia, different states, different time zones, same as in the States. It's not.
Yeah, there are places. Yes, yeah. I went to college in Michigan, and just maybe 20 minutes south of us was the state of Indiana, and we used to go down to South Bend all the time, but Indiana never changed. It stayed at the same time. So half the year we were on the same time, half the year we were hour. It was really wild. But yeah, we definitely have that same dynamic here as well. But man, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about what Primal Video does. And for those that have not checked out the site, make sure you do that. I want to make sure that you get a chance to check out that site. In fact, we're going to throw it up on screen just for a second here. There is the site, primalvideo.com. So just check that out when you get a chance. Definitely want to make sure you guys are aware of where he's at, how you can follow, all that stuff. David Hunt says South Bend for the win. But yeah, our second question, let me throw that up on screen here. what is your live stream / content creator story? You know, this is a favorite of mine as well. I have to tell you, because you always hear some really interesting tidbits. Some people stumbled in, some people, you know, they were absolutely focused on being successful in this space. Some we had one person on. I don't know if you know Melanie Diane Howe, but she was on, and she said she was just putting videos on YouTube as a placeholder for some friends, and they begin to get traction. She was like, "Wait a minute, I've got something here." So that content creator origin story has been a very interesting one, and I love it because, again, it shares to people that this thing can happen in several different ways. Your path towards content creation, having a YouTube channel, or just existing in this space, it can take many different shapes and sizes. So yes, let me shut up for a second and let's hear from you what that origin story looks like.
So from a very young age, I've always been making videos and those kinds of things. My parents had this massive video camera, literally like a backpack that you'd carry around. And in every one of my childhood videos, I'm like, "Hey, Dad, can I have a look? Can I have a turn? Can I have a turn?" So me going back and watching my childhood videos is very depressing because I'm just nagging him the whole time. But I guess I've always been interested in video, and I just was looking for ways that looks like I've got a bad picture coming through. Hopefully that sorts itself out soon.
It does, yeah.
The joys of live streaming.
The joys of live streaming.
It's all good on this end, but clearly we're missing something in the middle. Anyway,
I don't know. We'll get it. It'll catch back up to us in a second, but continue.
Okay. So my then background became producing videos for people. So I've had some amazing opportunities to travel the world with some crazy people, big wave surfers, free divers. Oh, wow. Had a documentary that got picked up and ran on Netflix globally, which was pretty amazing. And so from that, though, it was always, I was doing projects for clients, and it's all well and good, you know, if you got a good client, but there's a lot of clients that you're creating videos that you're not pumped on. And the videos that a lot of them should be making, a lot of people should be making, are the ones that are more real, more raw, the authentic videos, not needing a big production team to come in and to get those going for you. So I guess we started shifting and pivoting the business to be, how do we help people with this stuff? How do they get great results just using their phone or using their webcam or whatever they've got access to? Yeah. So that's really what started the channel. And it's really been coming up on 7-year journey on our YouTube channel. The first few years, we had no idea what we were doing, and the growth was non-existent. It wasn't until we sort of started really trying and testing and realizing that YouTube is a search engine that we started being a lot more strategic with our content. Wow.
Yeah, there's some golden nuggets there. I hope that some of you are picking up on that. It's 7 years. And where are you now in your journey on YouTube? How many subscribers currently?
So I think, we hit 1 million subscribers a few months back, which is just ridiculous. And where we were 12 months before that was hitting 500,000, and almost 12 months before that to the day was 250,000. So the last few years, it's just literally doubled.
Man,
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You know, this is a common theme that I hear from YouTubers, especially that have reached those major milestones in terms of subscribers, is that things start to really catch, and your content, like right now I have maybe a handful out of the 100 or so videos that I have on YouTube. I maybe have 20 of them that have really caught the algorithm's attention, and they're getting a lot of views. They're getting a lot of, they're being suggested. But as you grow, I'm hearing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm hearing that as you grow, it begins to catch, but in larger numbers. So the more content you have, the more it can catch. And of course, you can really see some exponential growth, doubling from 250 to 500, from 500 to 1 million. That is amazing in the space of those years. But again, I also want people to hear and really plug in 7 years. So we're talking 7 years, but some of those years you really didn't have a strategy, or not the current strategy you currently had now. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think same looking back in hindsight for any of us in a lot of areas, if we knew what we knew then, what we know now, we would do it much faster. So that's essentially now what we teach on our channel and inside our membership program and those things is saving people doing the same mistakes that we did. You don't have to spin your wheels. You don't have to create a video hoping that people find it or hoping that people even want it. You can be strategic about the content you're creating. So we only release one video a week. We're now experimenting with shorts as well. But for us, like one video a week is enough if you're strategic by creating stuff that people want.
Yeah. You've done your homework. You've looked at what people are searching for. And I love that fact that you shared in terms of recognizing that YouTube is a search engine. And so you do need to answer the call of search. It's actually, I say in my t-shirt, answer a question. What is the question you're answering? Because that's what people are searching for. And that's really good. That's really good. I see Chantel Hill says it's good to learn from other people's mistakes. Listen, you can end up having the cheat code in somebody's mistakes. So that is pretty good. Folks, I want to encourage you to put questions in the comments. If you do have questions, put a Q in front of it. Let us know what your questions are. But while you are getting your questions ready, I have a question for you. Definitely going to check out his site. I love that. Brandtastic. One question for you. And this is the question. Before we answer it ourselves on screen, we want to share it with you. You can read it. It's there. It says, what is your definition of impact and or success? Are they one and the same? What is your definition of impact and success? What is your definition of impact and success? I see Brandtastic's asking if you're on LinkedIn, Justin. So
I am, but not in a big way. I mean, for me, we went all in on YouTube, and everywhere else, I'm kind of, I'd much rather see people go all in on one than be sort of scattered across all the different platforms and not really having much success on them. So we chose to put LinkedIn to the side. I have one. I'm probably more active on Instagram. Yeah.
I often get, these direct messages on some of these other platforms, and I don't check them regularly enough to where I'm getting to respond to them in real time. So, but I have this canned response now that says, thank you so much for your message. Really trying to grow on YouTube. Please go over there, comment there, because yes, I'm trying to grow. That's my focal point. I really want to grow on that platform. So definitely love that. Again, I'm asking you in the comments, what is your definition of success? What is your definition of impact and or success, right? Want to make sure that we get that answer from you. And then, of course, we're going to ask that question. We're going to answer that question to ourselves on screen in just a moment. But as they are answering that question, I'm going to go ahead and run a quick little clip, just advertising our remote production service, and then we'll come right back. So stay tuned.
Introducing Composition's remote live stream service, your #1 live production source for small businesses, entrepreneurs, and faith-based entities. You have the idea, the message, the value to offer? Let us take care of the graphics, technology, and media for your web shows, video podcasts, or virtual conferences. Overlays, bumper videos, intro and outro videos. We even offer live stream graphics packages for the do-it-yourself streamer. Let's build your brand with live video. For more information, email contact us at yourcomposition.com or visit yourcomposition.com/go-live.
Let's see. Well, I hope that was meaningful for you. Hope you got a chance to see a little bit more of what we do here at our Composition. Some of the examples in that video are meant to really kind of bring out some of your thoughts, some of your creative juices, to see how other people are utilizing live video in their journey, in their business, in their brand, in their side hustle, in their passion project, whatever it is. Let us help you do that. And I love Dr. Tony Rizzo's comment here. Says, I enjoyed the Primal video class is perfect to learn how to do YouTube for success. YouTube for success. I love that. I love that. I love that. And then Chantel Hill answers the question. She answers the question. She says, success for me would be being able to help others have a win while also giving me some financial freedom. I love the way you frame that, Chantel. That to me is definitely one of the definitions of success that I resonate with. I absolutely resonate with. I see David Hunt says, when I hear someone say that they have been helped, that's what success looks like. That's what success looks like. Impact. It sounds like impact. David Hunt, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your response as well. What about you, Justin? What comes to mind when you know, what would you define as impact? And I guess if you could piggyback on that, I mean, you've experienced now some significant growth, and I think you've seen some of those puzzle pieces come together. But here's one of the major monsters that most people are fighting against, even as they have experienced a little bit of success or impact, and that is, how do you keep going, right? What keeps your engine going to continue creating more content? Talk to us a little bit about both of those. Define what impact looks like, and then, you know, how do you keep putting one foot in front of the other?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and it is a hard one to answer. I think this is something that is going to be specific to the individual. And I guess my definition of impact and of success has definitely changed as the business has grown, and as I've learned new things and what, you know, areas that I like to help and show up for people. It's almost like a bit of soul searching, where you're like, what are the things that I enjoy? And then if you can build a business around that, helping and impacting people, like, you're ticking all the boxes, as Chantel was saying in the chat there as well. And that's really what I look for. That is my measurement. I mean, we nearly closed our YouTube channel when it wasn't working back in the early days. There was a couple of comments that came through on some videos saying that we'd helped people make their first videos to raise awareness for autistic children and to help people with drug issues and addictions. At that point, it's enough for me to go, this is not just about me and my fear of being on camera and my ego and getting in my own way and all of that stuff. This is about the ripple effects that are way bigger than what I can see. So in terms of the motivation, then, if you're lined up with the stuff that you're doing, helping people, serving, and having fun while you're doing it, the motivation piece really takes care of itself, because the more you do, the more you will see those things happening, that you are helping people, more good comments and those kinds of things coming through. That should be the motivator. So I think anyone that really needs, I mean, we all have down days. It's how quick can you get back up? And it's looking then at those indicators, those things like, I am having an impact, I am helping people. If that's what you got to do, I think as humans, there is a piece in all of us where we do want to be doing that. There's not too many of us out there that want the opposite. But if you can find out what that is, the conversations that you love to have, and the things that, you know, if someone stopped you in the middle of the street when you were busy, but they asked you a question, and that question was the perfect topic of the stuff that you were just pumped to talk about, that's the stuff that you should be sharing, that you should be helping. Because there are questions. If someone stopped and asked me a question around tech, around camera gear, making a business online, those kinds of things, I just want to help them. I love that stuff. This is why I was pumped to be invited on the live stream. We can talk about this stuff all day. So this is the kind of stuff that I think, if you can build your business, or I call it a business, if you can help people from that place, it becomes a business. And in terms of impact, I said, like, for me, our goal is to help people build a full-time income online, doing what they love. So they're not going to a 9-to-5 that they hate. They're then able to show up and help their friends and family. And again, the ripple effects beyond. So in terms of measuring that, it's not ever, oh, good, we made it, we can stop. It's like, well, what's the next level? What's the next level? Yeah.
That is good. That is good. No, I resonate with that. And I love, one of the things I hope that people are picking up is how laser focused and succinct Justin has his I guess brand positioning statement. You know, if we, for lack of a better term, I mean, he recognizes who his perfect person is. He has that avatar fairly well defined, and he knows what their pain points are, what their motivations are as well. When you talk about having that freedom, I know that, I mean, essentially what you described is me, right? I was working the 9 to 5 and just absolutely hated it. Wanted to have the freedom to really have impact and to really show people something that I was passionate about, and literally turn it into a business. And so literally, as he's talking, I'm checking those boxes. I'm saying, yeah, that's me. Now, that's not necessarily what I do. And that's what I love about this space, is that there's different iterations. There's, slight changes, but we can partner together. We can have these phenomenal conversations, and we can still see those synergy points. And I just love what you're helping people to do. And I also really love, I hope that you guys are hearing this, that he keeps on saying the term business. It's a business. You heard Stefan Levinsky talk about, reverse engineer, start with the end in mind. What is your primary goal of your show or your content? Yes, you want to help people, but is that all? What are your desires? You can be selfish, be honest with yourself about what that looks like. Do you want to be able to be self-sustained? I think as one of the comments said it earlier, in terms of wanting that Chantel said, wanting that to allow her to have financial freedom. Those are fine. We need to give ourselves permission to say those things out loud so that we can work towards that space, because your content, if done right, it can be a business. And I absolutely love that. We got some good comments coming through here as well. Nas Time says here, spot on, guys. Happiness is the best measure of success. Doing what I love and helping others makes me happy. And I'm going to tell you right now that is definitely a recipe for being able to knock it out the park every time. And I love that. Again, we want to make sure you guys are putting your questions in the comments. If you have questions, go ahead and throw it in the comments, because your questions are definitely important to us. We want to make sure that we're getting your questions. I still have more questions for Justin, but I want to make sure we take some of your questions as well. Dr. Tony Rizzo says, developing YouTube videos successfully is a marathon, not a short sprint. Many people get confused about this. I learned this from Justin. I love that, Dr. Tony. Thank you so much. And I see David Hunt also has a question or comment here. I don't know if you want to, can you read this one for us, Justin, real quick, from David Hunt?
If you want to learn a little about Kirk is doing,
oh man,
so it's really small.
I thought it was,
what Kirk is doing. Sign up for the next class.
I should have known that David Hunt was doing his moderator work. I thought he was actually commenting on the conversation. Sorry about that. I thought he was talking about the conversation. But hey, if you do want to learn some more, that is there as well. But definitely want to hear more from you guys in terms of our topic today. How do you define success and impact? Are they even the same thing? And then, of course, what motivates you? How do you tap into that space? Is it something that you can do at will, or are there practical steps to be able to tap into that? When somebody is not motivated, how do you get unstuck? What are some of those things that you do? What is your process? Talk to us in the comments. I'd love to hear, because I do believe that we can have this two-way conversation. I don't think that all the knowledge is here on screen. I believe that you guys have some as well, and we want to hear from you out there. But yeah, I'm going to throw this other question up, Justin. Motivation is one thing, right? Equally important. And I see David Hunt has he's just, again, still moderating. Motivation is one thing, but equally important is consistency. You talked about getting into that lull, into that point where you were almost wanting to close down the channel. And then you also talked about, on the flip side, coming to present day, that one video a week is what you found to be, that place for you, and especially for your content. But how do you stay consistent? I mean, this is probably the number one question I get. People are excited. When they launch out, they're all gung ho, but a couple months in, it's like, oh my goodness.
So I think it's I think it's the expectation that content creators have, or people starting to put themselves out there have, is that this is going to be a quick thing. I know that you touched on this as well. We've been going for 7 years. I probably wouldn't count the first couple, but we need to go through those things so we can figure out what to do. So those kinds of, it's the expectation. Like, we'll see the people that blow up on YouTube and hit 100,000 subscribers in a year or hit 1 million subscribers in a year. And then we strive for that. And when it's not working for us, then we beat ourselves up. So I think it's having the expectation that this is the long game. Seeing the comments in there, YouTube is the long game. But the superpower that YouTube has is that your content can stick around for years afterwards, and live streams as well. So we have videos that are coming up on 7 years old that are still bringing in a ton of views, ton of subscribers. They're still growing our email list. And that's the power of this, is going into it with the strategy. But it's not just in terms of how do we stay motivated and how do we stay consistent. It's putting systems and processes around. That was the other thing that made YouTube very draining for us at the start, is that I would be, oh shoot, what video is going out this week? And we normally release on a Sunday, and it's Sunday morning and I haven't filmed anything, edited anything. I'll just come up with a random idea. Let's make so that's the hamster wheel that you don't want to be on. It's going to take you that amount of time to make the video. The next minute, all right, next week, you're on the grind.
Right.
So I would tell people, if they're in that position and they're feeling that right now, to stop. It's not going to kill your channel. It's not going to kill your business. Stop. It's going to save your sanity. Build yourself that buffer. If it means that you don't upload, if you were doing one a week, if it means you don't upload for 4 weeks, but you've then built yourself 4 videos, then when you start again, you're already 4 weeks ahead. You've got 4 videos that you can release. But the irony of it is, or the silly part is, it's all a BS deadline or commitment that we're making that is at the end of the world if it doesn't happen. If I don't upload on that Sunday, what's going to happen? Probably nothing. You could miss a week, you can miss a few weeks, but it's more you're creating content and helping people from that place of being frustrated and overwhelmed, and the flow on from that is not good. People aren't going to be pumped on watching your content. So give yourself permission to stop, take a little breather, and build that backlog. So for me, when I'm creating content, I'm never just shooting one video. I'll batch create. So that way we're doing the planning, the research in bulk. We're then going to create the content in bulk. And then we release it just drip fed out.
This is a clinic. This is exactly why you want to hear from somebody who's done it for a while. I mean, when you have those systems and that framework in place, it does help. It not only helps, I mean, this is the cheat code. I mean, honestly, that's how you get over the hurdle. If it always is that hamster wheel of, oh my word, I've got another video to put out this week, you're gonna feel that weight. You're gonna feel that drain. I just love the way you shared that. We do have 1 or 2 questions. I want to grab these, but man, I'm hoping you are all of you in the audience who are watching with us, that you have your pen and paper out, because this is good. And if you are in the content creator space, even from a live streaming standpoint, you can still get into this mode where it's like, oh my word, I've got another show coming up. Who am I going to invite? What are we going to talk about? Trying to stay ahead of the curve. I took the month of September off and planned shows straight through till February of next year, right? These are the kinds of things you want to do. Have that schedule that's out there, that's a verbal contract between you and your audience already. So they know, oh, there are shows all throughout the month of October and November. Oh, okay, I need to keep coming back Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So those are some of the hacks that you can do. And I'm hoping that these will be meaningful and helpful for you as well. Let's grab this comment from I think it's Chantel. Chantel is asking, how do you dust yourself off when it's been a knockout bad week? You want to touch that one? I have a theory, but I would love to hear from what you would want to say, how you'd respond to that one for Chantel.
Okay, so at some point you've got to question what's knocked you out for that week. Like, is it just that things didn't line up? Is it that you allowed one day to shoot a video, and on that one day your neighbors were mowing the lawn, had the leaf blower going, whatever, like all these things, like they're going to happen. So going back to giving yourself permission to not be on that hamster wheel, I won't ever just allow one day for filming. I'll say, over this week, I'm going to film a few videos, knowing that if something happens, and it likely will, it's not a problem. We'll do it tomorrow. I'll do something else that's also important for growing the business. But good. The other side of it too is, how do I actually, if I wake up and I'm just, today's not on, but I need to be on for today. What I've done is I've pulled together, and this is something that I wish I'd done earlier. We all look at YouTube comments and those kinds of things or feedback that we've got, it's easy to gloss over the good ones that come through. Oh my gosh, this video really helped me, whatever it might be, the things that show that you are having impact and having success. Create a Google Doc or a Word doc with screenshots of all of those things.
Oh, wow.
So you have a praise document. So if you're ever doubting yourself that who am I to be doing this or whatever, people don't want this, or, just have a look through, because it's much easier for us then to go to the positives. Okay, well, all these people can't be wrong. Maybe this content is helping. Like it's the self-talk that is for the most part. So it's how do we get over that? How do we prove ourselves wrong? That little voice in our head that's saying there's no point doing this today, or whatever it is, or it's not working, or it's not growing fast enough. It's like, no, I need to keep going. So kind of like a vision board, but you're doing it as just for that. You only open it when you need that little pickup.
Yeah, that's good, man. That is good. Chantel, I'm glad that you asked that question, because that little nugget right there, that's gold. And I've actually pulled up my own notepad and made sure I got that note taken down as well. That's something that I will be creating this week, because that is good. Being able to go back over and see some of the lives you've touched and some of the ways that I had a lady call me after we did a consult session who got her audio and stuff right. She's a rabbi, and so she live streams her services. This was during the pandemic for her synagogue, and she called me after the Saturday when she had her service, almost in tears because everything had gone well. And she didn't call to to complain or anything. She just called to say thank you so much. And I have that recording, and I do play that. But it's such a motivator, because you recognize, like, this is what it's all about, right? This is why I put the effort and energy in. This is why I do what I do, and that is amazing. Thank you so much for that. That's good. That's good. I see. And
there's a real human on the other end of that too. So a lot of people, they'll just see views, but each view is a real person. Like, you got to remember that. Like, I only had 100 views. That's 100 people. Have you seen 100 people in a room? That's a lot of people just watched your video. So
right.
it's those kinds of things. You got to take a step back and say, all right, is this why am I frustrated? It's not going as I thought more people would see it. Like, well, I'm just pumped that 100 people have seen this, and I know that it's just the first week, and it's going to be around for years.
And that's I'm hoping you guys are picking this thing up. Let me get this other question here. Which is better for starting a YouTube channel? Weekly videos or weekly live streams, which can be recorded for long-term videos, right? I'm assuming, Dr. Rizzo, you're trying to balance between weekly videos or weekly live streams, and then pulling a video out of the live stream. It sounds like you're going to repurpose the live stream. I'm not certain. Maybe you can give us a little clarity there. But what do you think on this one? You're more on the video side. But I know that the live video piece can be good. But I also believe, especially for YouTube, I'll just say that the produced videos are definitely where it's at. People's attention spans are longer when you're live. If they catch you live, they'll stay and they'll watch it. But if you're not live, the likelihood of them staying and watching the whole thing is actually slim. So I would err on the side of, a weekly video that is right in their sweet spot. What do you think a video should be? 6 to 7 minutes is what I usually say. What do you think, Justin?
I think they need to be as long as they need to be to give your viewer everything that they need.
I love it. That's good.
And short or sharp. Like, if you can get a video to 6 to 7 minutes and not pad it out to 6 to 7 minutes, if you can say everything you need to say in that time, then make a 6-7 minute video. But if someone has just looked at the title of your video and it could lead to, there's a 20-minute version of that video, but I know that there's a good feeling that 20-minute video is going to give me everything that I need. They're still going to click, and the right people are going to click and watch that video. It's like, think of a tutorial, right? Or you're going to follow along with someone cooking something. If it's a 2-minute video, you're like, okay, that's either a really quick thing for me to make, or it's not really a follow along kind of thing, or it's not going to give me all the information I need. Yeah. So you've got to look at the viewer journey for each individual video. But my goal when I'm going into it is, how do I make it as short, sharp, and punchy as I can without holding back on anything that someone is going to be, hey, what about this? Or you forgot to mention this. In which case, then how you structure the video is really important. How do you keep people engaged so they're not going to miss all of that stuff and they do stick around towards the end of your video? Same as you would for a live stream. If your strategy coming in for a live stream, you want to plan it out so that it's not, I mean, unless it's just a casual hangout Q&A, in which case, knock yourself out, free reign. But if you actually want to keep people engaged through a live stream, you're going to be teasing what's coming next. You're going to be, throwing out little open loops, little hooks to say, later we're going to talk about this or those kinds of things. So you want to apply that into regular and live streams. But to answer your question in terms of live stream content versus regular videos, you can have success with either, but typically most people coming to YouTube, and I'm really talking general here, are going to look for short, sharp answers to things or want to be entertained in a short, sharp way. Now, obviously there's examples of long form live streams, podcasts, Joe Rogan, whatever, it is possible, right? So, but if you were in your viewers' shoes, if you didn't know about your channel and you were looking for a topic that was covered in a 45-minute live stream, or you had the option to watch a 5-minute video covering the same topic, my guess is that you're going to click at least the short video first to see if you were fulfilled with that or not. Now, so the strategy here then becomes, how do you do both? So can you repurpose your longer form live stream contents, take out some of those golden nuggets to tease the longer form content? So you're still solving a specific pain or problem within those videos. You're still giving the viewers what they need. You're still giving the algorithm what it needs to understand your content, but you're also driving the right people. You don't need everyone to go and watch your 45-minute live stream or whatever it is, but the right people to come across. That's kind of the goal there.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, honestly, those are definitely some of the points that you want to. You talked about the live stream side, you talked about the content side, and then of course having one that throws to the other, short form that throws to the long form. It gives people a taste. It gives people an opportunity to be like, okay, I got part of my question answered here, and there seems to be a longer version, so let me go and look at the longer version. And this is again where I think chapters and some of that other stuff comes in it as well, allowing people to get right at the piece that they really want to get to. It's a la carte, give people that freedom. When you don't set it up in that way, sometimes they are kind of scrubbing through trying to find it. Where is it? So that can be challenging as well. So I love these questions, and we got more coming through. Teaching kids with Liz. Grab this one, Justin. I think this comment is for you.
Hey, Liz, great to see you on here. I just finished batching my content. Thanks to all your advice. Awesome. I have 4 weeks of content ahead of me. Love the batching tip.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, well done.
That's good.
And so then your business from that place, you're freed up now. Like you don't need to be like, oh shoot, it's what's coming out this week. You've now freed yourself up, and you'll probably find that those videos will perform well because you've done that research up front. You looked at what people are looking for. You've been strategic with it. So that's well done.
That's good. I mean,
so the other thing though that we didn't touch on before was video versus live stream. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No,
we definitely have a little delay.
Please go ahead. Yes.
The big benefit of live is the interaction, the deepening relationship. This is what we were talking about before on the countdown timer before we hit live. Right? This is the important stuff, is the relationship building, the deepening the connections with your audience. So that's the power of live video. So the strategy really, to answer your question, is in a perfect situation is to do both. You've got some content that will stick around and serve the algorithm, serve people that are looking for those bite-sized chunks of content. But then once they build that know, like, and trust with you, or start to understand how you've helped them with their content, then they'll jump on your live streams, and that's where they get to know you. That's what's going to keep them coming back.
That's it. That's it. I love that. I love that. It's really a combination of the two, and you got to understand what function and what role each plays. And I love the way you frame that up. The live streaming side. I mean, look, we get a chance to meet in this way. We get a chance to engage with one another. We've been in one another's comments. Watched some of your videos. I saw you on one of my live streams late one Friday night, probably early Saturday morning for you. But we've now been able to actually sit on screen in this way. But the other piece that you rightly pointed out is that, of course, you do have people who have been watching your content in the comments, and you're able to engage with them. They're able to ask a question, you're able to answer. So it's different than just going through and watching a video and following the steps and getting your question answered. Yes, but then there's that interaction, that human piece, right? This is how you get to know people. This is how you get to really make the connection, if you will, and begin to actually trust people. So that part is critical, and I'm so glad that you took the time to put that out there. I want to grab a couple of these other questions because I don't want to miss them. We have some really good ones coming in here. One from Dr. Tony says, which is better? Nope, I think we got that one already. All right, and we got Teaching with Liz. Here we go. Brian Tiles, grab this one, Justin, if you can.
Hi guys, a question to Justin. How do you get noticed with a smaller market here in Australia? I struggled with a previous channel. What do you recommend?
Good.
So it's Brian Tiles, right? So if Tiles is your last name, or if that's a tile company selling tiles, I'm not sure. But if it's struggling with a small niche, then it could be that you're trying to get people into your local place of business. Now, the beauty of YouTube is that YouTube itself isn't going to restrict your content to a certain location, country, or anything like that. The bulk of our traffic is in the US. I think Australia is number 6 or 7 on the list of countries that watch our content. So what do I do in that scenario is I try to create the content so it fits for the bulk of my audience, for an American audience. So I'm using American spelling. Whenever I say a price, it's in US dollars. The links are Amazon links, even though Amazon in Australia is nothing like it is in the US and in other places in the world. But I'm creating my content for where the bulk of the audience are. Now, this changes a little bit if your goal is to get people into your local business here in Australia. If you could take a step back and not just talk about how awesome your company is and the things that you do, you still should have those videos, but what are the things that your ideal clients and customers that might be coming into your store? And this might not be the case, but like in your specific case here, Brian, but right. I'll answer this anyway, like more general. The goal is to, how do I still help people with my content? How do I show up in the search results for people that are looking for something? They've got a pain or a problem. They're going to Google or YouTube. How do I create my content? And what is it that they're looking for that I want to be showing up in search results for, whether they end up in my local business or not? Because there's other ways that you can monetize, or even if you didn't monetize through affiliates or sponsors or any of those other things, by having an audience that it's interested in what you do, that you can still use that as social proof to get your local listing to the top of Google and Google Maps, local search, when people are looking for something near them as well. So you're able to show up and help a lot more people than just those in your local area. But the other side of it too is the biggest advantage that anyone has right now with creating content, if you're thinking that there's already people out there that are creating the videos that you're creating, that who are you to create this when those videos already have millions of views, millions of subscribers, whatever it is. The biggest thing that we all have going for us is that YouTube rewards new content, recent content. So if your content is newer than one that is 10 years old, even if yours has next to no views and the other one has millions of views, yours is newer, which means it's more up to date. So as long as that video is good, as long as YouTube is testing it in front of the right people, if it can understand who it's for, then you've got every opportunity to show up and outperform those top videos, or to be placed after those, and over time, take those top spots.
That's good. Yeah, he further explained that he is more on the DIY tutorial side, but I think there's so many nuggets of wisdom that you've shared there that he can really take to the bank. It looks like he's I think he's in I think he said he's in Philly. I think maybe I'm not certain. Maybe I read that comment wrong, but glad to see you here. Thank you so much for the question, Brian, and hope that we were able to give you something that you can sink your teeth in, that you have something actionable to walk away with. I do want to grab this one last question before we go into our plug your hustle section. I want to make sure you guys are able to, especially those that are not familiar, or I don't know how you wouldn't be, but we want to make sure you guys are able to find and follow Justin and myself wherever you in whatever way or capacity that you see fit. But this question here from Teaching Kids with Liz: how do you overcome the live video fear? I have the pre-recorded going well, but I'm super nervous about the live. Any tips? I'll jump into this one, and you can kind of jump in as well, Justin. But the live video piece is definitely where I kind of hung my hat. And one of the things that I've learned is as they say, it's a muscle, right? You want to flex it. You want to get comfortable with it. How you are in your YouTube videos with just the camera is probably how you're going to be when you're live as well, because it's really just going to be you and the camera. You're still going to be, try to make it a comfortable space, a space that you are familiar with. This is the space where you normally record, space that you would normally be if you were actually creating content for your channel. That's the same space that you want to be in when you're live, because it's kind of home turf, like home court advantage. But the other thing is, go live in a private Facebook group or on an unlisted video and just share the link with one or two friends. There's something to be said for kind of, again, getting your legs under yourself, working that muscle, getting comfortable. Somebody asked me, he's like, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if my camera falls down? What if the lights go out? I'm like, yep, that all of the above has happened to me, and that will be fine. And I think, and this is the piece that I love about live, is that no one expects it to be perfect. It's live. You're going to press a wrong button. That happens because it's live. And people will resonate with that more because people resonate with imperfection. That's what they see in themselves. And when they see it in others, they're like, oh, they're just like me. I do that too. I pull my ear when I'm trying to figure out something. I do that too. Those little quibbles and quirks, that's what make us unique. That's what make us human. And those are the things that we try to edit out, if you will. It's one of the reasons why I'm a big proponent of live, is because we don't want to edit out yourself. You don't want to edit out that authenticity. You don't want to edit out those pieces, the unspoken, nonverbal pieces that people will ultimately resonate with. Sometimes when you share something that is somewhat vulnerable, you'll be surprised and amazed at how people will respond, not just in your pre-recorded content, but especially when you're live. Those are some of the things I would absolutely challenge you to think through. What would you add to that, Justin?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think I'm a tech guy, and I fear the tech, that something will go wrong. And hey, I've got backup internet connections and stuff, and it looks like I was having bandwidth issues here before. So this is the stuff that you can't plan for.
Exactly.
And you just got to roll with the punches when it happens. Like, it's live. I've run a webinar with over 1,000 people watching, and I was my session timed out or something. I was removed from the room, and I'm running the webinar. So things like this happen, but it's your ability to jump back in. And if you're not fazed by those, if you just go into it with the approach of, oh, well, that's unlucky, or that's not ideal, but let's just keep going, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're worried about it or you're stressed out, then your viewers are going to be the same. It's going to be awkward, and they're going to feel bad, and they won't want to stick around. But I think the biggest thing that helped me when I first wanted to go live was so the first time I ever went live, I didn't have a plan in place, and I was just assuming that people would show up, and not many people did. So I'm kind of just sitting there like, oh, there's no questions. This was going to be a Q&A. So I was trying to think of things on the fly, and it was a lot of ums and ahs, and it was terrible. I quickly shut it down, pretended I think I had a tech issue, and I can't hear you, it's breaking up, and just killed it and deleted it, right? So from then on, every live stream, I will at least have some bullet points of what I'm going to cover, what am I going to say in my intro. And this may seem so obvious, but it makes a huge difference. And even if you don't have anyone show up live, which is the big fear that a lot of people have, good, that's your practice time. But what questions could you have? What are your frequently asked questions, stuff that you want to talk about? Have those written just on a Google Doc off to the side. And you can say, look, a question I had come through this week was from Chantel about how to go live or anything like that. So you can talk to it and you're just answering questions as if that it happened live. But there's obviously no one there asking those questions. So there's still value for people that as they join, they're going to be receiving some of your tips, some of your knowledge, and it's going to take the pressure off you. But also don't feel that your live streams need to go for an hour. The moment you're done, if you've run out of questions and things, then it's like, okay, sweet. Well, we'll wrap it up here.
That's it. And have that piece as well. I love that. I absolutely live and die by the outline or the run sheet or whatever you want to call it, show flow. Some people call it show flow, but I live and die by it. It's your show Bible almost. That's in remote production, when you have a producer who's behind the scenes, you always want to know what's coming next. Like, help me to help you. But yeah, I saw your response. Thank you so much for that, Liz. And what I would also say, and this is shameless, but I'm going to do it anyway, is that the book that I was highlighting earlier, the one on live streaming tips, 31 live streaming tips to grow your audience. That is a really great guide. It is the 31. It is the exact process that I use to be able to really grow my live stream, and it's one that I think would absolutely benefit you. In these last two minutes that we have before we close this thing out, I want to make sure people know where they can find and follow Justin, Primal Video, everything that they've got going on. And then Justin, tell people a little bit about what projects you guys got coming up. Is there anything that we can actually support? Anything that we can actually dive into? Several people in the comments have really been helped and assisted by the conversation today. Definitely want to make sure that they can follow up with you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/Primal Video. And on there, you'll see the different types of things that we're able to help people with. But it really is coming from that place of how do you not make the same mistakes we did when you're looking at getting in front of camera, when you're filming with the tech, right through to getting views on YouTube and then the monetization piece as well. Those three, you got them on screen. Look at you. You've done this live stream thing before. There's a real pro right here. This is awesome.
Man.
So that's pretty much it. Later in the year, we haven't announced dates and things yet, but around once a quarter, we do a free live training, which is kind of like a deep dive. It's stuff that we don't teach on YouTube. Mm-hmm. It is really our strategy of how we find topics and those kinds of things, how we really take people from views and subscribers into your email list so that we can deepen that relationship and stuff with them. So we can put a link in the description for this one that's announced if you'd like. If anyone that's interested for that, then Kirk, I can get
you'll send it to me and I'll put it in the description of the video. And so for my replay squad, we'll have it there for you. For those that are watching live right now, you can either check back or you can just go right over to primalvideo.com because I believe it's there somewhere. But I definitely,
pretty sure it'd be at the top.
I'm definitely interested in that as well. I definitely, that's the process. You want to get people closer to that deeper relationship, and that's where the business aspect of content creation is. Justin, want to thank you so much for coming through today, for being such a gracious guest and just sharing from your considerable years of experience and expertise in this space. It has been an absolute benefit and blessing. Don't go anywhere. And I want to make sure that everybody else knows that you can and probably should have already gone over to buymeacoffee.com/KirkArnugent. Grab your ticket. Look, it's right here. It says right here, Convos and Collabs After Party with Justin Brown, Primal Video. You want to go ahead and grab that right now if you can. And we will see you in just a second in the Zoom room. The Zoom room is already open for my members. You already have the link in your email inbox, so definitely go ahead and do that. And again, Justin, want to say a word of thanks as I close it out. Don't go anywhere, dog. Just want to make sure you don't leave. Stay right where you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Man, I always have to, return and just have this little moment with you as we close things out, man, it has been amazing. I have at least a half page of notes. The one, like the key huge takeaway, tell me in the comments, let me know, Replay Squad, what was your huge takeaway? But for me, it was that praise document, screenshots of comments and responses from people that your content has helped, from people that you have helped directly or indirectly in whatever way that has taken shape. I think that is a massive cheat code, if you will, to really put all of that in one place. But I also like the second tip. The second half of that tip was, don't read it all the time. Take it out when you really need to be reminded. Take it out when you really need to be. So this is not a badge of honor. It's not something you whip out and say, hey, look at all these good comments. This is something just for yourself. And I'd love that. I absolutely love that. I'm excited to hear what you guys came up with, excited about the content that we've been able to have. I hope that you come back next week when we have Justin Koo on the channel. Check him out. We're going to post some stuff this week, just kind of letting you know who he is and what his content is all about. But man, we're hoping that somewhere in the video today, you were able to have that light bulb moment. You're able to kind of get a feel for, how the pieces of the puzzle come together, peek behind the veil a little bit. Essentially what we're saying is we're hoping that you're able to figure out how it all works. And we'll see you in the next video.